What's up, guys? It's Lenny, your fan of stuff to you, and today it's been a while, but I'm coming at you with a super heavy samurai combo dump. Now, if you don't know what that means, I don't think anyone's really ever done it, but I basically just throw out a crap ton of combos. There's no rhyme or reason to them. It's just a bunch of different combos that I thought were really cool that super heavy samurais can do. Now, just as a little aside here, I'm going to go on like a little bit of a rant here, and then I'm going to go to the combos. First things first, super heavy samurais, unfortunately, without Scarecrow, are tier 2, tier 2.5. They're too fragile to a bunch of different removal. They have not enough starters that are consistent. Scarecrow really held the deck together in a lot of different aspects. It made Soul Piercer a combo starter. It made Wagon a much better combo starter than it is right now. And then Bike and Wakashi are still insane combo starters. On top of that, it was also a really good extender. I know you've probably already heard all of this, but I'm just going to go out there because I've said this I commented on someone else's video. I think it was one of Yasin's video. But the point is that I was going to make a video going over all of this, and I decided not to because I couldn't get all my thoughts straight in it. But the way to nerf super heavy samurais properly would have been just to ban Bike. If they would have banned Bike, super heavy samurais would have been hit reasonably well. They would have been kept in tier 1.5 status, maybe tier 1 still, but they would have been much weaker. Bike is the main problem card in the deck without actually killing everything the deck can do and all its consistency. The reason why is because once you get rid of Bike, you lose the ability to Baronne de Fleur super early in your combos because you no longer have an Axel target in your main deck that's good. On top of that, you lose out on 3 super consistent combo starters and a way to bridge a lot of different cards or to get into any single card in your deck whenever you want. So it's just, that would have been the best hit in my opinion for super heavy samurais, but hitting Scarecrow does kill a lot of the deck because of basically the fragility now. Now, the good news is that there's a lot of really cool tech cards that you can start trying, and there's a lot of really cool options that you have in the deck now that the deck is at this status. It's always really interesting because after a deck gets hit, that's when you see the most creativity with it, because of the fact that normally when a deck is at full power, it's hard to be creative with it because of how optimized it already is. Everything is so efficient in the deck, there's no reason to go look for other strong options in the deck because of the fact that the deck is already so good. But now the deck is much worse, you could see a lot more creativity, a lot more options coming out. So you can even look now, when I initially looked up videos for like super heavy samurai FTKs or combos, you saw all the same videos. Now, albeit there was only not even a month since they were released, but you had a lot of time before that, and basically all the combos were out and no one was really posting much about it because the deck had been like quote unquote solved. But since the fact that Scarecrow got hit and that got kind of annihilated off that, fucking pushed down like 2 tier statuses, because it was basically tier 0 with Purely and Kashtira. I guess I don't know what you consider tier 0, but regardless, you could see so many new options of what people are trying. Crazy techs with Infinitrax, cool techs with all kinds of different stuff. And I'm here to show you guys my own cool techs that I tried in the deck and a bunch of cool options that I saw. And we'll do like a little quick aside here where I show you guys the options in Edo Pro, and then after we're going to go into the combo dump. So this is just kind of like, it's not a deck profile, it's just a bunch of cool options that I found with the deck. Obviously now with the hits, there are certain bricks that you have to run, but there's a lot of really cool options that the deck has now that you might consider running, that I'm going to be showing you some of the combos that you have available if you do use these techs. Now, obviously they're probably not optimal, but it's just for sake of argument and some cool stuff. So first things first, Time Thieves have a lot of cool synergy with the deck. If you look at the Wagon combo, it always starts off going into Gear Gigant because it's so important in the deck. It's the way to bridge kind of any gap that you have. Because Wakashi is so important in the deck, every single combo that you see, basically no matter what, if it has super heavy samurais now, it is entirely reliant on Wakashi. Before you had options that you can go for even if Wakashi got stopped, but now it's almost entirely on Wakashi. So what Regulator does is Regulator gives you access to Gear Gigant X while also maintaining more advantage on the board. It gives you a nice Gear Gigant X on the board with a level 4 Dark machine on the board and a level 4 monster in hand, and it also gets you to search for Bike, which is really, really cool. On top of that, another really cool thing that I've been testing quite a bit because I thought it was really good, and turns out it's not the best ever, but it's still a really cool option that you have, is Stardust Synchron alongside with a Stardust Illumination and Stardust Trail. The reason being is that Stardust Synchron gives you a shit ton of value once it hits the board. It searches you for a spell that specials a monster from the deck, basically, because you're always going for Axel Synchron in Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon in every single combo that you're going for with Super Heavy Samurais, because getting either Dispatter or Baron is like insanely good. So you're basically always going for that. So Stardust Illumination is basically always live in your deck when you're going into it. And so that gives you it gives you access to two synchro plays, because you get to go into a Synchro 8 off the first Stardust Synchron and the Stardust Trail. And then when you reborn the Stardust Synchron later and you reborn the Stardust Trail, because they come back together basically, you can use Illumination, get rid of it from the grave so your Super Heavy Samurais are still alive, and go into like an FA Dawn Dragster, into a Synchro 9 play if you want. You could also just go into Synchro 8 and leave the Stardust Illumination in your grave. You have a lot of options with that, which is really cool. And one of the other cool techs that I found in the deck, and it's a nice way to also get Stardust Synchron on the field. There's not many light machine level 4 monsters in the game, but again, Stardust Synchron is an insanely strong one. So you have Shadow's Light. Shadow's Light can target Wakaushi to special Stardust Synchron out the deck. You can also just banish it from the grave, so it doesn't interfere with any of your Super Heavy Samurai plays. Lets you get an extra normal summon off for a dark or light monster, which is either the Stardust Synchron engine, your Super Heavy Samurai Wakaushis. It can also do it for any Time Thief monsters that you're running. So there is a lot of cool synergy here. I wasn't able to like come up with like a nice fixed deck profile. I'm still like working on that a bit. I am at the point now where I might be scrapping this specific deck or Super Heavy Samurais altogether in favor of another deck, because I will be heading to the North American World Championship qualifiers in Raleigh. If you guys are there, you want to say hi, we can always chat up Yu-Gi-Oh! I could talk for that on hours and hours. I could talk that. So yeah, aside from that, there's a lot of cool options that Super Heavy Samurais have now, and there's a lot of cool support coming out that gives them a bunch of options. And especially with the last ban list, things have changed in the game. So I'm just going to leave you guys with the combos here. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. They're super fun. They're super cheeky. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.